Greetings and happy 11/11 portal today. So it is November the 11th and very powerful energy. It's on a Monday, aka a moon day. So yes, I'm pretty excited to tap in and see what the messages are for the collective. So let's get it. Let's tap in. Um, Keep in mind, though, some of these messages may resonate and some of them may not. So let's see what we got going on here. Okay. All right, Divine Spirit, thank you for divine guidance, truth, clarity. What is it that we need to know to tap in to this 11/11 portal? Okay. So the energy of alignment, the energy of manifestation, power, the energy of unity, the energy of prophecy. Okay, so let's tap in. Okay, 11th house energy, very powerful. So let's see. Divine Source God, give me 8 cards. 8 cards, please. Give me 8 cards. Give me 8 cards. Wow, okay. Is he my 8? I don't know. Let's see. The Tower, Page of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, the 5 of Swords, almost 7 cards. So 10 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Hermit. Get one more. The 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so there's our 8. Bottom of the deck is the 9 of Swords. All right. Our guides are coming through with a message with the Tower. I feel, especially let's start off with the Tower. So you have a lot of major arcana cards. Well, you have 3 out of 8, so it's pretty decent. But let's start with the Tower. So the Tower's energy, there's some sort of, I call this card the dismantle card, and it also could be a card of an awakening as well. This energy that we're in, we could be coming into awareness of certain things coming crashing down, and maybe our typical, approach or response to something that's being torn down is that it's a negative thing. It's something that is destroying our world and ruining our lives, that this is the worst thing that could happen, rather than looking at it as something that is being dismantled. Or if you think about like an outdated building, though it may be very historical, it's very beautiful, but it's outdated. And in order to rebuild something new, maybe, a newer hotel, instead of like keeping the old one, let's rebuild it. Let's start from the ground up and rebuild a new state of the art type of, hotel. So when it comes to certain foundations, they're outdated, and it doesn't necessarily mean that something is wrong when we tear those things down to rebuild something more sturdier, something more up to date, more in alignment. Okay. So I feel like that's what's happening, and there could be a lot of like understanding, like our guides giving us a message in understanding seeing the positive, getting the understanding, the wisdom, the truth, the spiritual capacity or maturity level to understand like why certain things need to come down. It's 2:22 p.m. here as I'm recording this, so hey, um, because I feel like the lesson is to value more, to better value something, whether it be yourself, others, certain blessings, like finding the gratitude, having the maturity level to appreciate certain things or to be appreciated, or getting that message of, do people have the capacity, the space, and the maturity level, whether it's emotionally, mentally mature, spiritually mature, or just the capacity, the space to appreciate me, appreciate what I have to bring to the table. And I feel like that's part of the message. And I feel like what action they want you to take based off of that, just being the Page of Pentacles, is be receptive. Be receptive. Yes, be open to experiences. Be open to learning. Be open to what's best for you. But understand, continue to learn your value, your worth, or maybe to a different level or degree that you haven't met before. So I feel like you're not able to see just how much maybe, I wouldn't say like how much you've grown, but it's like your ability to, like, how you perceive things as they are right now in your life, that it's coming from a place of actually being flexible. So you might be someone that might have been very rigid in the past, or only saw one side of things, whether it was your own side or just only, considering others and not considering yourself, or considering, one topic like it can only be black and white. It's either this or it's that. Like one level of understanding into being able to look at things from many different sides and angles and perspectives. And maybe you don't see that, and for some of you, maybe you do need to kind of stretch your perception, like kind of like tweak it a little bit to broaden your perspective and not be um so tight or uptight, or and this could be about things that are blessings, like not being able to see a blessing in a situation, shifting your perception about it. So yeah, I feel like it's like you don't see this. The Five of Swords being right next to the Hangman is that you may be having a hard time perceiving what is happening. And it could be, again, a hint that maybe you're looking at things from this fixed, uptight, black and white perspective, right? So by you understanding that life is not really based off of winning and losing from this detrimental space, or like, this negative take that, oh, if this didn't work out, then that means that this is a negative experience, or it's tweaking your perception. And if you're able to move in a more open space, more so of a, there's no such thing of a loss, only lessons in certain areas of your life, but maybe another particular area of your life, it's doom and gloom, then this is challenging you to stretch yourself in that space, in that area. Because the Five of Swords, sometimes it could be that mental conflict card. It could also be a card where, I call it like the survivalist energy too, like having to get one up on one person, like the mental version of the Five of Wands, like needing to prove a point, needing to be the loudest in the room, or I don't want to look stupid or look dumb, or if something didn't work out, then I'm a loser, I'm a failure, rather than looking at it as a lesson. I saw this quote. It was like, I think it was last week. I seen this quote, and it said something along the lines. I gotta find it. Y'all know me, like I want to like quote it verbatim because I feel like it's gonna take away it's not going to hit the same if I don't say it verbatim. It says, a winner is a loser who tried one more time. Okay. A winner is a loser who tried one more time. Okay. I don't like to call ourselves losers, but you get the gist, you get the hint, you understand. So maybe that will be an affirmation that a winner is just a loser that kept going, that kept trying and tried one more time, didn't give up on themselves. So it's not about that. And I remember, like, when I was in my kind of not Delulu, but I was very like, everything was just like magical, everything was spiritual, everything had this meaning, this profound meaning, blah blah blah. But I was like in this childlike energy where I was very receptive. I was very receptive to spirit, and like I didn't question, I didn't doubt. My discernment could have been better, but I was like very open. And so I remember like sitting outside and just being and just meditating. And this was around the time that I would see elementals in my backyard. Like this was the time I loved to sit in my backyard, just sometimes just butt ass naked, just be in my backyard chilling, like just being, I don't know, like that was an interesting time of my life. And I would hear messages, and one of the messages that really stood out to me was that there's no such thing of a loss or failure, only lessons. And I was like, dang, okay, yes, that really makes a lot of sense. Like, we take losses or things that we perceive as a loss or failure, instead of looking at it as an opportunity to grow or to learn or to see that I wasn't ready and I needed that experience to show me that. Like, if you didn't have something to show you that you weren't ready, how would you know? You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't try to run a sprint and then, you lost your breath, how would you know that you didn't need to work out better, or that you didn't need to train more if you didn't go through that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we look at these things like Olympians. You got to have some tough skin, and you have to have a good sport spirit about you, because they just imagine all that training that they've done, and they go to the Olympics, which is a big deal to even participate in that. And then, maybe say like you're second to the finish line on the track and you get beat, and you want to cry because you're so close, or you were almost there, you're third or fourth, on the race. And you can easily say, F this, I don't ever want to do this again, I'll never run again in my life. But because some of these people know what it's like to lose and lose and lose and lose time and time again, but keep going. But if you become a poor sport and say, oh, fuck this, I give up, I'm not doing this anymore, you will miss out on your blessing. Because prophetic action or manifestation action, like taking a step to align with your manifestations, that is a step of faith, even if you don't see it. So if, because it's not about the time, like, okay, it's only going to manifest, oh, I needed to manifest here, then and there. If you're focused on that, because manifestations are not about our time on a clock or on a calendar. It's not based off of that, or our biological clocks and our age and societal standards. Vibrational alignment is divine timing. So we're not in our divine time, meaning we're not in alignment with our highest whatever capacity or vibration, or what's necessary, the vibration alignment that's necessary to what we're trying to manifest. We're not going to manifest it. As long as you feel like you are unworthy, or you think that you are running out of time, or you're anxious, or you're jealous, or you are pessimistic, you're pushing that manifestation or further. I wouldn't even say you're pushing it further away, because it already exists. You just got to step into alignment with it. Kind of like Cinderella. If you think about divine timing from a clock perspective, right? You got to be somewhere, or you got to be out of this place by 12 a.m., right? Before that prophetic window opens of opportunity. Like, this is the Kairos time, like it's the perfect time to tap in and move in this direction. That party was already set and planned. It was already a thing. It was already going to happen. Cinderella just needed to align herself in that vibration. And what was her prophetic step, or her manifestation action step? She made a dress. She assumed, I'm going to this ball. She wasn't thinking about, oh, I don't have the flyest dress, and my dress is not expensive, and oh, what if the prince doesn't like me? And blah. She didn't give a fuck about it. She knew she was going to that ball. She made that dress. Plans got fucked up because, the jealousy, the interference, the enemies come in, the things that try to take you off course, off path. And yes, she was devastated. So her spiritual team shows up for her and shows out for her, and creates a better plan far than what she had. Her dress was, not only was she going to create a unique dress that she made, but this dress that Divine Spirit had for her was far more flyer than the one that she had originally planned. And it made her stand out. Her energy made her stand out. She was in alignment with divine timing for that window of opportunity to happen. So you have to be in that vibrational space. If you look at someone such as Cinderella, if you want to take it in a practical sense, this is someone that was dogged out by her family, or so-called family, that treated her like shit. She was a servant pretty much, taunted day to day, word cursed day to day, but she still had faith that there was something better for her out there. She knew that. So you have to embody the energy of the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Cups to manifest what you want. The feeling. Cups are about the emotions, the feeling. And it seems like sometimes, yeah, when things happen or don't happen a certain way, we get in our feels, and it's okay. We're human, but tap back into the essence. And sometimes it requires that inner childlike energy to manifest things. That assumption, like I assume that if I put this bicycle on my Christmas list, Santa's going to bring it to me, or my parents, whoever, I'm going to get that thing. That's how kids are, you know? And some Christmases, maybe they woke up and didn't get that bike under the Christmas tree, but eventually I'm pretty sure they got that bike. Kids assume what they want, they're going to get it. They have it in them, and they don't stop. It's like they don't stop asking until they get it. Most of the time, like spoiled kids is like, I'm gonna get my way, child. But you gotta have that assumption, not like telling the universe, if you don't give it to me, and like a spoiled brat. No, but the assumption, like a child that just believes, like if I say I want to go to Disneyland and I wish for it, I pray for it, it's going to happen. They believe in it so much so. And I bet you, if you can go back in time, whether you were a child or an adult, when you tapped into that childlike energy where you just believed that something was going to happen for you, you might have forgotten about it. But if you look back, I'm sure you manifested something. You manifested it. I can look back at so many things that I wanted to happen so bad, whether they were good things that I truly did, like truly wanted to have, or my ego wanted it. I still was able to manifest it. And then from the point of manifestation, it's up to you whether it's something that you want to continue to keep in your life or steward. So I say, don't manifest from your ego. Don't manifest from a place of desperation, from a place of competition, jealousy, envy, trying to prove a point, from a space of lack. Don't manifest from those places, because, yeah, you might be able to manifest the thing that you want, but from what space, what energy are you wanting it, and why? Because it may be something that is not for your highest good later down the line, or something that you don't even want or like anymore, right? So manifest from their pure state. What's of your highest good? So you might face a little bit of a challenge when it comes to the receptivity. Maybe your heart has been broken. Maybe you've been disappointed so many times you don't even want to have faith in anything anymore. But the thing with this is that you have to work on your heart. When you want to manifest things that are in alignment with you, you want to manifest it from your purest space, your purest heart space, your soul, your true highest good and capacity. And sometimes we don't even know, like we can have a surface level understanding of like what's for us, and we'll ask for certain things, and sometimes the universe, and oftentimes I should say, the universe shows up and shows out in a way that's far beyond what we even could conceive that we could have or experience. So it's like, be open to that. And it might not be easy, like I said, because of past disappointments and maybe your heart getting broken, that it's hard for you to feel, it's hard for you to be optimistic. So you are going to shift into this elevated energy where I feel, due to soul searching and times that maybe you feel alone. And if you do feel alone, or you feel the need to just be alone, it's, you're in your hermit mode. You're in your hermit space of going within and really tapping into you, into your heart, into where do I want to be? Where do I truly desire to be in my life and go? What is in alignment with my purpose, my path? So you are going to elevate, like be able to see the bigger and greater picture. And when you're manifesting from that space where your heart light is turned on, where you see the bigger or greater picture, or you can sense it, or you have a level of understanding, a higher purpose, a higher calling to your life, what it is that you deserve and want, you're going to manifest from that place. And those are the things that are aligned, better aligned. So when we manifest, or we're wanting to call things into our life, we have to prepare for our blessings, right? My top thing that I remind myself of when I'm manifesting, or when it comes to just being in alignment with what is coming for me, divinely meant, a blessing, that I always have this in my heart and my mind. Give me the discernment to recognize a divine blessing when it presents itself to me. Number two, not only give me the discernment, but give me the confidence to believe in myself and to know that I am worthy and deserving of this blessing. Number three, give me the maturity level to steward this blessing, maintain it, appreciate it, the gratitude, the appreciation for this thing. And last, the wisdom and the discernment to also know if something is, its season or its chapter is ending, to give me the strength, the discernment, and the wisdom to let it go and release it when need be, or close it out. So, yeah, the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like when it comes to like preparedness, or if that's even the right word, how to prepare for these things that are coming into your life, is to like work on what you feel like blocks the blessing. Whether it's you know, the mental blockages such as negative thinking, or things, words that come out of our mouths, because words are powerful. Whether it's like we say we may want a new car, but is our finances in alignment to take care of the car when need be, when it needs, some engines changed, or it needs detailing, or whatever it might need at some point, or it needs a new tire. Like, do we have the maturity level, like with our finances, to handle certain things? When we say, oh, I want to manifest a partner, are we in the space to really be available for a partner, not just available for dates and all of that, but be available emotionally and mentally for someone, to be able to show up for them, and sometimes, like, yeah, we can learn through our partnerships, yeah, because we're not meant to be like these perfect beings. But when it comes to like, am I a headache or am I a blessing to someone? Because you don't want to manifest from a place of desperation. Sometimes, like, spirit will bring you a good man or good woman. They may not be meant for you, but they'll send you someone just to test you, or not really test you, but just to like show you where your vibrational energy is. Like, are you really prepared for this person, or for the person that you say that you want? And I've been in that space. I've sabotaged things before, definitely. Whatever's meant for you, it will be, and it will come back if it's meant. But if it's not, sometimes, again, it's not a failure, it's not a loss, it's a lesson, something that you can take wisdom from. And what I can take for those two relationships is I still had issues with certain areas in love. I had trust issues, things like that, testing a person, like, oh, does he really care, let me test him, let me see. Like, pushing a person so much is only going to get you so far, right? We can push things away. We can be anxious. That's why I tell people, like, you got to have a life. Like, you got to have something outside of what you want, especially when it comes to love. You got to have some interest. You got to have some, something that gives you passion, that gives you life. You got to have your own life going on, because when you're in that place of desperation, any person that gives you attention, or anything that feels good for the moment or looks good, you'll get caught up in that and you'll lose yourself, and you'll become very desperate and very pushy and very trying to rush the process rather than being present. But when you genuinely have other passions and other things, that you have a life going, you pace it better. It's like, okay, when we have time, we'll make space for each other. We'll make time and space, because if two people are interested in each other, they're going to make time, right? um it will be a natural flow, a natural order. You won't be so readily available to where you don't have time for yourself. And what I notice with women specifically, when they get in relationships or they get married, they kind of lose themselves in the relationship. They don't have time for their friends, sometimes their family. They get very caught up in their man, my man this, I can't go out, girl, I gotta stay at home. And as soon as the man, his homeboys is ready, or his family, most of the time, like if they have a healthy relationship with other people outside of you, they're gone. They're gonna hang out with their friends. They're not sitting there going, "Oh, dude, I can't." Maybe sometimes, yeah, because you got to make time for your partner and other people in your life. But when it's just overly poured into one side, and I notice women tend to do this when they get in relationships, you got to have a life outside of your person. You have to have a healthy balance. Your world can't be all about them. You know, children, like, are you emotionally ready for a child? Like, because you can't put them back in the oven, child. You can't just be like, oh, nope, can't do it. I send them back to the factory, like, come get these birds to come pick these babies up and take them wherever they take them, or however they brought them here, take them back. You can't do that. Like, are you prepared? Like, oh, I want this job. Are you ready for the responsibility that this job, this position requires? Do you have patience with others? Are you a team player? How's your time management? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, and sometimes, yeah, you gotta put yourself in the position to like grow by doing it. But oftentimes, like, we can tell, like, some people that when they get like high positions, you be like, oh, this person ain't got no business being nobody's manager, supervisor, director, whatever. They ain't got no business, because this person doesn't know how to handle authority positions. Um, so it's like you gotta show yourself approved for real. Um, Not perfectionism, but just readiness, vibrational readiness. And you can tell when you're ready for something and when you're not, hopefully. So you have number 14, thorns. Weave together the crown you deserve. So luckily you have people around you that will pour into you. Sometimes you need people to remind you. Thorns could be very, obviously, like the part of the rose that's very prickly and might accidentally like poke your finger or something like that. But people still revere roses. They still find roses to be beautiful, you know. So regardless, you're still beautiful, and there's people that will love you beyond your thorns. Not saying that they should be getting pricked time and time again. Like, that's not fair. But you have people that will encourage you, show you that you're loved. And you have number 18 with the tree, let them go. Okay. And if it's people that do not appreciate you and cannot love you, show up. And it's not saying that you need to cause trauma to people around you, but we're human. We go through things. Life happens. Life is a series of ups and downs, and if we don't have people that can be there with us through those trials and tribulations, and vice versa, we can't be there for them, then we don't need to be in each other's lives. So if there's anything that is not rooted in growth and stability and love and support, then let that shit go. Let it go. Then you have the tower. So you have two tower cards technically. It says number 3, unplug and relax for a spell. So sometimes the spell is powerful when you just relax and just let shit be and let it go. You know, getting your energy right, your vibration right. Sometimes it's taking a break. It's not always about doing. It's not always about pushing and forcing things. Like, usually there's a difference between a prophetic action step or a manifestation action step versus trying to control shit and like push, 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 push. We have to discern the difference between that. When we're pushing for things, when we're trying to control and manipulate rather than being a team player or showing up, you got to know the difference. And lastly, with the witch, number 27, justice is coming. Okay. Some of you guys, get prepared, clean out your closet, maybe literally or spiritually clean out whatever you need to clean and clear out of your life. Okay. Make space, make room for the things that you're asking for. That could be a prophetic action for some of you. Could be getting a new wardrobe, getting rid of an old one, donating some clothes, maybe going to some consignment shops or whatever. But make space, make room. Okay. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this message resonates. I hope it resonates with those who are meant to receive it. Okay. And as always, much love. Y'all be blessed, be safe, take care. Happy 11/11. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.